Welcome to the Hot Chicks Write Hot Books podcast with Jen Foster and Melanie Johnson, where authors give you their inside secret tips on how to be a successful best-selling author. Hi, welcome to Hot Chicks Write Hot Books on our podcast here with Jen Foster and Melanie Johnson, and we have a super extra special guest today. It's not a hot chick, but it's a super hot guy. His name is Mario Fachini. He is a two-time #1 best-selling author, and one of his books is How to Become a Best-Selling Author. He has written special software, he is a speaker, he is a motivator, and he is really just an awesome individual all the way around. We are so lucky and fortunate to have him today, and he's just a great friend of both of ours. Mario, welcome. We're so glad you can be an honorary hot chick with us today.
Well, I do appreciate it. Thanks for having me. This is a lot of fun.
Great. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and how you became an author.
Well, a few years ago, I started speaking locally, and then I started helping people nationally. I got asked to speak at a live event in San Diego, and then, I just took what I learned and decided that sharing it through a book is a really great way to do this, because we all have information, knowledge, expertise that the whole world needs to know that we can really help them with, whether it's something simple in a personal field for how to live a better life with relationships or cooking, or maybe you're a doctor or a lawyer. Everyone has information that they can share with the world. Once you put it into a book, you can just hand it off to someone.
Mm-hmm.
Go, here you go, and then they can read it. And it's so much easier than repeating yourself. So I had an opportunity, and I decided to go for it. It wasn't the first thing on my mind because I do not have a copywriting background, and that's what I loved about it. It's not that difficult. I think everyone should do it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we're so glad that you're here. So tell us more about your background in web design. So you've been a web designer for how long?
A while now. I'm not as young as I used to be, but I got started on my own back in high school. I was just having fun with friends. We were in a marching band competition in California. We walked the Hollywood Parade.
Awesome.
And I like to take pictures, so everyone was asking me, can I get the pictures, can I get the pictures? I taught myself web design on a Sunday afternoon, and it was mainly because I was tired of downloading everything over dial-up. I was thinking, if only there was a place we could all go to get the pictures, and then it occurred to me, they're called websites, so I figured out how to build one. I kind of got away from it for a while I was in college, and then in '08 I started back up professionally with my business clients, and it's where I got the idea for the Freedom Platform.
Awesome. And so one of your books is about that, right?
It is. So my first book is on video marketing for business owners, how to use video to increase your business and help more people. And my second best-selling book is the IWDNow Freedom Platform, which is based off of my software, which allows people to build WordPress websites in under 4 minutes automatically.
Awesome. That's really great.
So tell us, how did you decide to become an author and to write? What compelled you to take the information that you knew, you were gaining this knowledge, you were becoming this web designer and learning how to use video and the internet, and then how did you put that all together to start to write books?
I was part of a training program. I was part of a training program that was the whole intent of it was to publish a book. And I had spoke at 2 previous events and was teaching and training with a lot of people, and I guess you could say as like kind of a leader or something, because I was just thinking everyone else is going to get their book done. Like heck, I'm not going to have mine done. But as I said earlier, I don't have a really strong English copywriting background. I actually failed English 6 times, so when they were let's write a book, I'm like, sure thing, put me on stage, put me in front of a room, whatever, but I have to write. But I just thought about the people I could help, and that's how I got through it. But it was because of a training program that I was helping people with, and a part of myself.
Wow, Mario, let's hold your book up.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks great.
I mean, what a story that is. I mean, if that doesn't compel someone to get over their fear or think they can't do it or not confident, you're a guy, you're telling us that you failed English 6 times, not once, not twice, but 6 times, and you are not just a best-selling author, twice you've written best-selling books. So that's got to inspire people. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And yes, if anyone questions me, I do have the report cards that show I am not whatever. But anyone can do it, and just surround yourself with good people. And for everyone watching this, I've known Melanie and Jen for a couple of years. They're great people, and I think it's awesome what they're doing. That's why I agreed to come on and present. But you're in good hands, and if you have any qualms, they'll remove them, and I know you'll get your book done.
Oh, thanks, Mario.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah, well, we want to pick your brain some more, so we want to kind of talk about some processes. So what did you do to begin writing your book? What did you actually do to start writing your book? Did you get a pen and paper and start writing, or what exactly did you do to start?
Absolutely not.
Okay, what did you do?
I was driving to a meeting,
Mm-hmm.
and I just picked up the handy dandy right here and started speaking into it. And literally the first couple things I was saying was like, all right, so I got 20 minutes before the thing starts. I'm supposed to be writing a book. Failed English. Everyone's looking up to me. All right, there's a semi truck, and it was transcribing what I was saying. So I used Evernote and just spoke into my phone, and it was interesting because later when I got back to the desktop, I started looking at what had actually transpired out of that, and I was like, wow, that's pretty entertaining. But you can just go back and edit that stuff out, but it's what I tell my clients, just start with something. The first step is always creating an outline, like the frame of a puzzle. There might be 500 pieces, there might be 5,000, but if you know what you're doing, what's the title, what's the subtitle, you can have an artist working on the cover while you're figuring those out. Once you have that, and you have the desire and the topics you want to cover, like mine, I got video marketing for business owners. I decided on that. I had the passion and the desire, and then I go, okay, what am I going to talk about? And then once I just reframed all of it, it wasn't a big deal because it wasn't what's all this stuff I have to write. It was I've given over a dozen speeches to live audiences on this topic, and I'm like, what do I speak about? So then I started pulling up some recordings, and then after about 3 minutes of watching it, I realized I actually knew what I was talking about and just mapped it out and said, here, what is video marketing and why should I care? How difficult is it? How do I achieve Hollywood looks on a mainstream budget? How can I use it? And then I created an outline, table of contents, and then just filled it in. And,
awesome.
It takes more than 2 minutes, but it doesn't take forever. My first book I did in under 2.5 months. And the second one I did in a day. So,
wow, in a day. Now walk us through that process. I think a lot of people might be intimidated that, okay, they might get the book written, you've got the contents now, but now what do I do? Like, is it really difficult for them to create a cover and to launch it and to self-publish it? I mean, because you've got the writing part, but then you've got the putting it out there part. And how do I get through that? I'm not technical. How do I do that? How did you work that part?
So that's a great question, Melanie. And a lot of people go, well, who am I going to share it with? Well, we have social media nowadays. There's Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Pinterest, Google+. There's all these avenues. There's your phone. Last I checked, I had 4,800 people in my phone. I was like, that's a lot of freaking contacts. All you have to do is reach out to them. You may not have an email list, but you do have a list from all this other stuff. All you have to do is start condensing it. Maybe you never started collecting the emails to broadcast to them, but you know people. You can start with a handful of them. I mean, shoot, there's 3 of us right here. Contact us. We'll contact other people, and leverage who you know, the good relationships you've already invested in, and it doesn't take 10,000 people. You need maybe 5 or 10 that are influential, and then they can tell other people, and then as time goes by, you're still going to meet more people.
Right. So that's a lot of people you can put your book out to.
But
Yeah.
I like to say it's not intimidating. Even if you have 5 to 10 people, that's a great start to get it marketed and pushed out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and people start talking about it. You can create a website. I recommend to all of my clients to make a public figure Facebook page. It's a business page, not the personal one. But now there's special stuff you can do with that from a business and marketing standpoint. But you just want to start promoting it. Wherever you're at is good enough. My first email list, I had, I believe it was 147 people. I thought I maybe had 50 or 60, and I was like, wow. When I came up with the 50 or 60, I was like, oh yeah, what about? Oh, and them too. Oh my gosh, I forgot about so-and-so. And after about a day, I started compiling it, and then I advertised it, and then more people started joining, and within 24, 48 hours, I took my initial seed list and started going back into it, and it kept growing. Now it's into the thousands, and that was only 4-ish years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's amazing how fast it can grow. Like you're saying, sometimes you don't realize who you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think you only have this handful of people, but if you just make your circle bigger, there's a whole lot more that you can get. Now, how did you go through the process of deciding on the cover of your book?
I had my graphic designer work on that, truthfully. I knew what it was going to be about. I knew the branding, the yellow and black here.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted it to match, and this is actually FFCC33, just like the lower third on here. I knew the colors, and I had a rough idea, and then just let her play with it, and then we found a cool picture we bought, and as I was working on the book, she was working on the cover, so both were getting done simultaneously. Mm-hmm. For someone who doesn't have a staff graphic designer, no big deal. There's plenty of people who are great at graphic design. You can go online and find them, reach out to one of us. We know people. It's not that difficult. You could even put a Craigslist ad out looking for graphic designer to design a book cover, and you'll probably have 50 to 100 responses within a day. I know when I was looking for a video producer, I had 73 within a day, and when I was looking for other web developers, I had 126 within about 48 hours. So there's plenty of people who know how to do this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. What's nice for the Hot Chicks Write Hot Books down at the beach, we're going to do all that for you. But if you don't join us, those are great tips that they can figure out how to do it themselves. But what's nice about our platform is we're going to do everything. You don't have to think about all that stuff.
Right.
See, that's fantastic, and I wish you had done this 2 years ago, because it took 2.5 months because I was piecing all this together. But like I was saying, anyone seeing this, you're in good hands. That's just proof right there. I had to figure this out, and thankfully I already had a business with a staff designer. But I have no doubt you'll be able to knock this out in a couple of days, because you're leveraging your time and Jen and Melanie's expertise. So I'm still petitioning to have guys there, but what you're doing.
We're going to have another one in the fall, and we'll have hot guys and hot chicks.
Cool.
We'll do the combo.
Yes.
So what are some do's and don'ts that you did? I mean, you've been through the trenches. You've written a couple books, so I know you have things that definitely work for you and things you're going to tell us, oh, my gosh, don't ever do this.
All right, here's a big don't. Don't not write your book.
Oh, I love that!
Do write it quickly, efficiently at the event in June.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
That's really good. Well, tell us, Mario, what have you done since you published your book? What kind of things have happened because of your book?
Since I published my book, it's been much easier to land speaking deals, because you can actually hand this to someone and go, here. And one of my best stories to date is the last event I spoke at in San Diego just a few months ago. I was coming back on the plane, and I'm looking for an electrical plug for the phone. And I'm just making conversation, and I moved up my seat and, different stuff. And there's this nice woman there, and we're talking. And she didn't even know there's electrical plugs under the seat. So we're talking, what do you do, this and that. And I tell her I was speaking at an event, and, I'm an author, speaker, this and that. And so she starts asking me a few questions, and I pull out the book. And this is the one she actually read, and, we're on the flight. We're talking for 3-4 minutes, give her the book. She wants to read it. Plane takes off. We don't really say much more. An hour later, she's like, oh, it is so great getting to know you, and turns back, starts reading the book again, and I'm thinking, we talked for like 3-4 minutes, but she was half done with the book at that point. She got through it in about an hour and a half, maybe hour 45, and then later on when we landed, we had talked a little bit more, and she contacted me, and she goes, here's my business card, here's my husband's business card, here's $20, and she wants to publish a book now.
Awesome.
I was looking for an electrical outlet, but what I had done, this was done, and it was easy to go, here you go. I didn't really do anything. I was looking for food, and, she was nice, but I wasn't like on the plane going, all right, who's going to be my next book publishing client?
Right.
I was there and prepared.
Yes. So handing out your books and just making conversation and letting people know that you're an author. That's great tip. I love that.
Despite what your background is, you can write it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was a great story. What, Melanie? Go ahead.
Yeah, but your background, your education, if you failed English more than 6 times, you can still do it.
Yeah.
It actually works as an advantage because you go, hey, this is better than anything I've ever done. Looks good. You don't get caught up with all the perfectionist stuff because another fun thing was I had friends who were English majors, and they wanted to write a book. Some of them still do. So this was years ago. They want to do it. I did it. And then when I launched my second one, they're like, you've done 2 already? I was like, yeah, when are you going to start on your first?
Yeah.
So it has nothing to do, it's best-selling, not best-written.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of best-selling, what would you say, I've got my book, I've written it, I've put it up on Amazon. How do I get people to buy it? What are some of the great marketing things that you did to push your book out there and to let people know that you're an expert in that field?
Again, I defer back to social media, email. I'd even interject paid ads. There are so many avenues that advertise it. The same way you say, hey, what do you think of my cover? I'm designing for the new book I'm writing.
Mm-hmm.
Publicity beforehand, and then I'm launching today. Please support me. There's free bonus gifts. Same thing after the fact. These people are now on your list.
Yeah.
And now they're excited and want to help you, that once it's done, it's even easier. Hey, here's the finalized website or link to Amazon. You can buy it, share this with your friends. It's the same audience, it's the same medium, but what changes is the message.
Right.
Before it's, I'm doing this leading up, a month from now, then you launch, and then afterwards, it's continually just, I still have it, here it is. And there's a lot of tools you can automate with social media. One of the best things you can do is pay for ads. You can reach the largest audience the fastest. And there's a lot of stuff you could do. I could do a whole segment just on promotion, but I would start there.
What was your favorite? What were your top 2 favorites that for you worked best?
Sharing my existing list and the people that I grew it with, the first 2 parts. Sharing it on social media and email. Start on that right now, regardless of where it's at, and make an announcement. I'm writing a book. What do you think of this title? What do you think of this cover? What do you think of the subtitle? What do you think about the chapters? Just take bits and pieces as you work on it and get people involved in it. Like movie trailers. They share. They tell us about those 6 months before it comes out. Here's a preview. They're still working on the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a conversation going, that's the key. Start the conversation.
Absolutely.
That's nice.
Start the conversation and keep it going, and then invite more people to it.
Yeah. So Mario, tell us a funny story that's happened to you since you've written your book. What's some?
Which one? Funny story.
First Lady on the Plane, that was pretty amusing too.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was, I'd consider that inspiring.
Yeah.
I mean, it motivated and inspired me to keep working. I'm working on my third book now, and I know what it, does for people, so I'm excited about that one. A funny story. Oh, my gosh, and I have video of it too.
Of course you do.
So this was a few years back. The end product. Well, I've never aired the video, but I do have the footage of it. This guy was awesome. So I was asked to speak for the Southfield Entrepreneurs Association, and we're supposed to. It's a networking event, and then everyone talks, and then I was the speaker, and all this stuff's going on. It was a few years back when the Harlem Shake was out, so I actually got the audience to do the Harlem Shake, and we had a lot of fun. It's what I like to do. But that wasn't even the funny part. That's just the everyday norm for me. Right before I'm supposed to go up at about 6 o'clock, no, 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. So networking for the first 45 minutes to an hour. They're getting ready to introduce me. But this time they go, we're going to do something new. Let's have everyone share what they do. Hi, my name is, introduce your business. Well, there was like 40, 50 people in the room. So I'm supposed to be up at 7, let's just say 7:15 to 8 o'clock. Person going, person going, person going. And the second you give someone an audience, some people were very courteous, 30 seconds, a minute. Some people are going 2-3 minutes. 25 minutes later, we're not even halfway done through the room. And I'm just having a ball over here because I have my camera guy doing the camera. I'm laughing. I'm entertained. I'm not getting upset or nothing. And they're trying to keep everyone going. 20 to 8. This guy gets up that heard me speak before, and he's like, let me tell you about him. This is what's up. This is what's going on. And even when the host was like, okay, we need to wrap it up, he's like, no, this is important. Think and Grow Rich is the way to go. This is going to change your business. This is going to change your life. You know what I mean? And everyone's just captivated. And the person was like, okay. He went for about 15 minutes himself. I didn't even go on till like 5 after 8. And I'm just like smiling ear to ear. It's hilarious. Yeah. And I was like, wow, is this really happening? It went an hour longer than it was supposed to. So thankfully I know how to, if I have 15 minutes, 30 or 60, I've done all the different segments and know how to cut them, short them, make them longer. But it went great. We had a lot of fun. But that is by far the funniest story because you could just see everyone getting more uncomfortable. Some people were trying not to laugh, and I'm just sitting there like, whatever happens, we're having fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So tell people listening, why should they become an author? Why would you encourage someone to become an author?
I could say it's going to improve your business. I could say it'll make you the authority, celebrity, and expert in your niche, which it will. I could tell you that you're going to get extra business from it. But honestly, it makes life easier. Hi, I'm Mario, blah, 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 blah. Look at me, I'm impressive, blah, 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 blah. Nope. Here you go.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Much easier.
It makes life easier. All that stuff is a good byproduct of it, and, I might joke about it, but most people are so inundated with, hi, I'm so-and-so, I do the, and it's just like, no, you cut through all that crap. It's like, hi, I'm an author, and I can speak for your, you don't even need to say that. What do? I'm a speaker and author. Really? You wrote a book? Yeah. Tell me about it. And now they're asking you questions. One of my favorite quotes I put in my book is, instead of trying to get everyone's attention, why not be so captivating they can't look away?
Yeah.
So many people are trying to, look at me, look at me, look at me. Forget that. It's too much work. Put on a show and people will come to you. It's a lot easier with a book. It's a lot easier with videos, and when you combine them, hands down, life is fun and profitable.
Awesome. Love that. Well, tell us, Mario, where can people go to find you? What website can they go to find you and your books?
MarioFachini.com.
Love it. Perfect. We will make sure that URL is at the bottom of the page here. And Melanie, do you want to talk a little bit more about the hot chicks, and maybe Mario will come with us in the fall?
Yeah, let's talk more about hot chicks.
Yeah. Mario wants to come to the hot chick ones and be the hot guy that waits on the hot chicks, which we'd love to have you because you're super hot.
Appreciate that.
Love you.
The compliment.
Yep, we're all going down there. We're having this beautiful week-long stay where all that stuff that Mario talked about that it can take so long and all those resources you have to figure out, we have all those resources for you. We have the graphic designer. We have the marketing tools. We have the writing tools. We have everything. We have the video. We have everything that condensed. Like he said, he did his last book in a couple days. That's what we're going to do for you. Plus, you're going to take that time out. You're going to be in this beautiful scenery. You're going to be on the beach in this gorgeous villa. We have video of the villa that you're going to be staying at on our site, so check it out. And please join us. Hot Chicks Write Hot Books at the Beach. It's a great opportunity for you to change your life and change your business. So, Mario, thank you so much for coming. You are awesome. We just love you. You're always wonderful.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Mario.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
For more information, you can visit our website at hotchickswritehotbooks.com, or you can text your name and email address to 832-572-5285.